Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless, and today I'm going to be playing a game in my Tier 9 Czechoslovakian medium tank, the Škoda T50. My brother Jake is going to be running in his Tier 9 French medium tank, the AMX-30. And we like to play combos together. You know, if you play platoons with any of your buddies, I do recommend playing similar type vehicles, for instance 2 medium tanks, because it really does help you synergize well together and play effectively. That or playing artillery with a light tank, you know, or a light tank and a tank destroyer, but something that complements each other well. Something like if someone was playing a medium tank and someone was playing a tank destroyer, a lot of the time it's hard to actually help each other out effectively. And if you're playing very close together, it is nice to play a medium tank with another medium tank, or sometimes a really fast heavy tank is also nice as well. So I purchased this Škoda T50 recently because my brother highly recommended it. He loves his TVP, the Tier 10, and he told me that I have to get it. And so after many years of holding off on it, I finally decided to pull the trigger one day, started grinding this line. I'm at the Tier 9 currently, and I have to say I really do enjoy it. I'm used to playing autoloaders, I guess, to a certain extent because of my Lorraine that I purchased a few months ago, and because of that I kind of have a feel for like that 320 burst damage. I guess the alpha on this thing is 300, not... No, it is 320. And so, okay, so it's a little bit different than the Lorraine, but overall, I kind of am comfortable with the way this gun shoots and handles. But I do get myself in trouble once in a while because I'll overextend, and I only have 3 shots instead of 4, so I have to kind of keep that into consideration as well. And so their STB, which is a very good player, according to XVM anyway, is spotted, and it's causing us to hesitate a little bit on if we want to push in or not, because right now we just have a few Tier 8s pushing down the A9 line, and they have a lot of vehicles backed up there. And with that STB's presence, it's really hard to put pressure with the STB's great gun depression up onto, let's say, the C8 area, which is normally where I'd want to push. But the STB looks like he's not running a fire extinguisher. The Patton takes him out with a nice shot and a fire. He's probably running consumables like food to further increase his DPM. But with his presence gone, I know that we can comfortably push in. I'm not too worried about the one line because we have a couple of our Tier 10s back at base. They're going to be able to hold them off as long as we need in order to push forward and take advantage of these vehicles here. So their E1 gets completely destroyed. He was probably reloading his clip. Something to keep in mind if you're an autoloader, not to push into situations like that, because when you have to reload your clip, you're basically screwed, and people understand that autoloaders have bursts like that. So anyway, right now I'm sitting at 1,000 damage. I still have all my HP. I probably could have afforded to be a lot more aggressive there if I wanted to, but because the game is still quite young, you know, only 3 minutes in, I try to be really conservative for the first few minutes of the game. I almost take a shot on our Mutz right there because he pulled forward into my gun, but fortunately I don't put a shot into him, and I'm able to actually get the shot on the Arty. So fully aimed shot there into the RHM. It looks like I connected, but it's actually my brother that made the hit. Now I have to reload, and I don't even know where that shot went, honestly. That was a perfectly fully aimed shot. It wasn't even that far, but whatever, RNG. So again, I still only have 1,000 damage. I really want to get more, and I'm gonna push in, but it's really important in these situations not to get too greedy. My brother doesn't really have a lot of damage either, and he's really wanted to get in and get that damage, but they still have a lot of nasty vehicles left on their team. So quick shot, miss, second shot, fire. He puts it up very quickly. I think he's probably running a premium fire extinguisher because I only did 73 damage to him, but I'm able to at least get one shot in. But unfortunately, I take a shot from the Scorpion G, which puts my HP down to 1100, which, you know, is still good enough HP to brawl with, but I could get one-shotted by that FE183 if I'm not careful. So I'm almost reloaded with my clip. That is one thing I love about the Škoda, is the fact that it reloads very quickly, and the 183 takes out my brother. Now, I guess maybe it's because I was trying to avenge him, but I'm like, screw you, 183, you can't take out my brother. So I pull forward really aggressively, able to finish him off, put a shot into the Emil and finish him off, and then also put a nice shell that penetrated miraculously into the side of that IS-7. So that was kind of a ballsy move right there, pushing in like that. But because I knew the 183 had fired, and I think it's the fact that he killed my brother, I just kind of went in like, yeah, screw you. And I was able to finish off 2 vehicles with my clip, as well as put a nice shot into the IS-7. So this WT is kind of just out in the open here. I take a risk. I knew he had fired, so I put 3 shells into him. Scorpion G puts another shot into me, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, you need to die. You need to die, buddy. I'm going to focus you out next clip. And so I'm just waiting for my reload here. They only have 3 vehicles left, and so I know that I'm not gonna really die if I'm careful, but I want to try to finish off this Scorpion G that has put 2 nasty shots into me. I put 1 into him, he starts backing up, and I'm able to connect and finish him off. Putting my damage up to 3,700 damage in a couple of minutes, which is actually pretty good considering I was only at 1,000 damage just like 2 minutes ago. So this IS-7, he looks like he could use a nice clip, as well as this WT, and so I have a few seconds left in my reload. My team is pushing in really fast, and I'm only going to have a couple seconds to clean these guys up. I go for the IS-7 at first, but I realize this RHM is going to present a much easier target to penetrate with my heat shells that I have remaining, and I'm able to get a couple more shots in, putting my damage total up to 4,400 damage in a 6-minute game with 5 kills. If you ask me, that's a pretty good idea of what this vehicle can do. Very, very bursty damage, and it's a lot of fun. If you guys don't have this vehicle, it doesn't seem like it's a super popular vehicle in the meta right now, but I really, really enjoy it. And if you're looking for something that you can carry with, you can have a lot of fun with, I highly recommend picking up one of these bad boys. Anyway, guys, hopefully you liked this replay. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a like down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless, and today I'm going to be playing a game in my 121, the Chinese tier 10 medium tank. The map today is Winterberg, or Runeberg if you will, and I'm going to be playing with my buddy Brennan in his T57 heavy tank. Now usually it's a pretty common move for me to try to take the middle of the map, whether I push around, let's see, this area here in the field, or even take this alleyway right here. But looking at their lineup, they have a lot of heavy tanks, and I feel like my presence is going to be more valuable here in the city, as well as the fact that they have a couple Batchat autoloaders, and I really don't want to get caught in the open with those vehicles. So this position is really strong. I realized that no one really was going to take it, and so I decided to put myself here with only one arty. I feel like the odds of me being killed by that are very slim, and so I'm going to be able to side scrape here, and I'm going to be able to hold this position quite effectively, granted, as long as nothing pushes into the E1 area. That's kind of my counter here. And gun velocity fail. I've been playing so much on my Leopard 1 lately, grinding for the tank marathon, that I'm unable to predict my gun's velocity. It does take me a little bit to catch back onto it, but after that I am able to put a few good shots in. I am firing heat because I'm able to, you know, I'm not going to be able to penetrate the cheeks of these vehicles very reliably without it. And I noticed that the E3s are pushing around into E1, and now this is very, very bad. And I need to be aware of exactly where they are, because they could potentially put a 1-2 shot into me and make me very, very crippled. And our Jagdpanther 100, I'm not sure exactly what he was going for. I think he was trying to hold down behind that well. Unfortunately, it's going to be his demise. And the second he dies, and I see these E3s pushing around the corner, I decide that it's time to engage them instead of the other vehicles, because the second I try to side scrape, I'm going to expose my side to the E3s, and I really don't want to do that. So I'm looking for a shot here. It's kind of fortunate that this Jagdpanther 100 died, because now his dead vehicle is allowing me to use it. You know, I'm using his dead vehicle as cover. And normally these vehicles would have more shots on me, except for he's kind of blocking them with his dead body. So kind of fortunate there. E3 is shooting APCR at me, and he's only able to connect to my track, meaning he really didn't have a shot on me there other than that. and so I know that I'm still relatively safe here if I want to push forward and get a shot. I don't want to risk it too much, however, and I was actually thinking that Artie's probably going to be looking at me right about now, and in fact, he does put a nice 500 roll into me. Kind of hurts, but it's okay. I can take a little bit of damage for the amount that I've already put out. This E3 tries to put another shot into me. I'm not sure if he was shooting for me, if I was still lit or not. Maybe it was just a blind shot, but now I know that he's fired. I back up, trying to get one more shot into him. Kind of a bad shot on my part. I don't think that would have connected anyway, but he backed up right when I fired, and again, the velocity is not what I'm used to. I should have let that shot a little bit more. Now the E3 has taken a shot. One of them has anyway. He bounces me. I'm able to connect a shot into him. Somehow I had HE loaded, which I think was unintentional, and I realized my mistake there, and so I switched back over to my heat rounds. Now that those E3s are distracted, I believe that I have enough cover with these Jagdpanther E100s to pull forward and get a shot in. I'm able to get the shot in, but unfortunately both those E3s are able to connect shots into me. It's not what I really anticipated, and unfortunately I lost the majority of my health doing so. So now I back up. I decide, okay, I need to regroup, and I need to try to figure out what I wanted to do next. And I actually think about turning around and driving away, and then I actually decide, okay, these guys actually don't realize that I'm probably going to fall back. And so the fact that I was there was the reason why those E3s were unable to push around that corner. Me falling back and then coming back again, it was a bluff. I was hoping that they would think that I wouldn't be there anymore, and in fact they fell for it. They completely pushed around the corner. I'm able to finish off the one, and the other one is a complete broadside to me. I'm waiting for my reload, and I'm going to hopefully pull forward and finish him off. So I don't want to be too sneaky because there's a Jagdpanther E100 there. I side scrape, waiting for the shot. Don't quite have it. He's looking at me, but by looking at me, he gives his side. Actually, no, it was just the Conqueror GC that was able to finish him off. But now this Kranvagn is out of position. I'm able to put a nice shot into his side. He bounces me. One more shot till I can kill him. I decide, okay, screw it. I'm going to pull forward, risk it, and finish him off. So all of those plays were really crucial in me winning this game, especially falling back and finishing off that E3, because that could have potentially been bad. Really unlucky that I hit the very top of that T-57's turret. I realize I can take one more hit. I really want to finish him off. Should have been a nice cheek shot as well. Hit the exact same spot as last time and bounced again, and now I'm out of heat shells, which is okay. I probably shouldn't have been spamming them as much as I have been anyway, but now I realize that it's no longer in my best interest to try to peek that corner again, but I decide that I should probably try to finish off at least one of these tanks while the Foch is taking a lot of the hits. And so I was going to fall back initially, but then I realized that, okay, they're probably distracted. They think that I'm not going to poke anymore, and I'm able to at least finish off that E100. Okay, now there's really no point in peeking that corner. I really abuse this corner a lot, and I really don't want Artie to take a shot at me anymore. And I am kind of, pushing my luck here a little bit by doing so. So now, looking at the map, our field has been completely neglected. An STRV is over there. The Batchat is most likely going to be peeking around that corner any second to try to clip out our WZ-1115A, and I need to get back as quickly as possible to try to engage them. So coming around this corner, I decide I need to take a shot on this STRV. I don't have a shot quite yet, and so I pull forward hoping to spot something else. The Batchat is there. Really, really lucky that I connected. The odds are I probably would have missed that shot, 9 times out of 10, but again, you don't hit the shots that you never take, and so it was lucky, but I figured he was going to shoot me, and he was most likely fully aimed, and so I was just a split second faster in pulling the trigger. It was really RNG that I connected that shot, but if I hadn't, he would have most likely killed me, and so it was the decision that I made on the fly. So falling back here, I'm really the only tank left other than our artillery. Everyone else has been taken out, and my gun gets taken out, but again, RNG blesses me right there, where I'm able to connect a shot onto that T-57 that I missed the turret of so many times, and able to finish him off. Now this Object 140 is side scraping. I don't know exactly what he's doing. I don't think he's tracked, but I switch over to an HE shell because I know I'm not going to be able to penetrate him right there. I put a nice crit hit into him, and I can reload one more time. One more HE shell into his side should be able to finish him off. I think he figures out what I'm trying to do, however, and he fixes his track, and I don't think he is going to show his side again. So now I've found myself in kind of an interesting situation. They still have an artillery which is putting shots into me, which Honestly, I probably should have relocated because I knew I was lit there. But I'm at 5 kills. I have an artillery, and they have 2 kills, or 2 tanks left. 140, which I believe is a one-shot, as well as their STRV 103, which is a one-shot. Now, coming around this corner, I gotta be really careful, and I spot their STRV. Now I'm gonna slow this down for you guys because it's actually pretty entertaining to watch. STRV with my AP rounds, the odds of me penetrating him frontally are pretty much zip, unless I can hit his cupola. So he coming around the corner here, and the second he realizes that he's lit and he needs a shot, he slams on his brakes, which tilts his tank forward, and I'm able to get a clean shot onto his cupola. Really, it was a snap decision on my part to make that shot, but it was game chain right there, because if I was unable to penetrate him and he was able to move forward, he could have potentially scissored me with the 140, and it would have been game over right there. And so again, it was kind of lucky that I made that shot, but it was very, very well thought out in that snap second that I had. When I noticed that his tank was going to tip forward, I made that shot. And those are, again, the little things that I do as a player that makes me a little bit more competitive than, let's say, the average player, because I understand tank dynamics, tank weak spots, all of that stuff, and use them and abuse them to the best of my extent. So now I have myself in a 2v2 situation. They have a Conqueror GC, we have a Conqueror GC. I'm in a one-shot medium, they're in a one-shot medium. It's pretty similar. And, you know, the mistake a lot of people make in these situations is that they kind of camp the whole time. The only reason I'm sitting in this position here is because, one, artillery hit me here and I ran away. And so I feel like they're not going to predict me to be in the same position again. And two, that STRV came around that one side, and I thought that I might catch the 140 out of position, especially if he was hiding where he was last spotted in that little crevice. So I'm just going to wait it out a little bit, and I might end up actually fast forwarding it here for you guys because I think it's a little bit boring. Yep. And I decide that it's in my best interest to try to get out of here. Because if they know where I am and I just continue to sit there, it's not going to really pay off in the long run. And really breaking it down and thinking about exactly where these tanks are going to be, STRV pushed out into the open right around K4. Their Object 140 was last lit in the city. Now, the 140, he probably is going, if I was him, and, you know, the northern base actually has more of an advantage for camping because they have those really good bushes on A6, A7. And if I was him, I would probably be hiding in those bushes because you can easily control and see a lot of around your base as well as the middle and anything pushing into your cap from the city from there. My base, however, he can easily catch me by surprise, and I really don't want to put myself in that situation. And so I'm going to approach the A6, A7 area the most sneaky way possible, and this is really the only avenue that you can approach that. Again, my prediction, because he didn't get lit in the city, he didn't try to help his STRV, and because he didn't push out by the cap and I didn't spot him, I realized, okay, the only position he could really be in is in the A6, A7 area, unless he's camping down